My glasses are dirty. Still dirty. Hello, Matuhu Ramige. Welcome to Ven con Migue. Quick update. I am getting over the runs. This happens every time that I come to Mexico. People usually say that it's in the water. It's traveler's diarrhea, Montezuma's revenge. Ha! It's so funny. It's not so funny when you think of the colonial history that messed up the state of the art water systems that were in place over 500 years ago. But that is a topic for another day. Today, I want to talk about my identity. Everybody asks what I am, but no one asks how I identify. There are plenty of labels that could apply to me if I am filling a census or some government form. I may have to choose my race between white, Hispanic, black Hispanic, or another race, right? I can identify as Mexican American, Chicano, Mestizo, Latino. Then there's Latinx and Chicanx or Chicano. I said Chicano already. In Mexico and maybe other Latin American countries, I don't know. I've only been to Mexico. The LGBT movement is using an E at the end of certain nouns instead of the gendered A or O, making me possibly Latine. Here's the thing: if you identify as any of the above, then you have felt the pain before. You know what it's like to have labels, new and old, imposed on you. But what is the big deal? Why are people trying to separate themselves into a different category? Aren't we all the same? The thing is, our experiences shape our identities and vice versa. In the United States, many of us identify as Hispanic or Latino. No matter how Americanized we've become, no matter how badly we speak Spanish, whether we have been to so called Latin America or not, and even if the last person to be in a Spanish speaking country in our families was our great grandmother, we do not have the same experiences as the Americans. Even the white ones, the white passing Latinos, the straight up European Latinos, whose great grandparents were from Jalisco and only spent one generation in Mexico. They have one dark skinned parent from Mexico and maybe one white American parent, and melanin wasn't on their side. We all have a sort of shared experience in our Latinidad in the US. Now, some people who are labeled as Hispanic or Latino don't feel that our indigenous identity is captured well with these particular labels, and yet others do. Latinidad can bring a lot of diverse people together who identify with the implied Afro-indigeneity that comes with the history of the Latino label. But others know perfectly well that their ancestors were probably not even indigenous. Again, there are white people in Latin America, as well as Asians, Middle Eastern people, black or immigrants from Africa, etc., etc. Then there is the identity of Chicano, very Mexican centric, but not all the time, very US born centric, very centered on our indigeneity. A political statement, but every identity is political. Then there is Latinx and Latine. Both of these are meant to address the inherent sexism in the Spanish language. Latine was coined by LGBTQ folks who speak a more standard Spanish, while Latinx was coined by folks who usually live in the US and speak a variant of Spanish that is mixed with English. So which one is better? It really depends on what variant of Spanish you speak. It's not for me to say. For myself, I'm not saying that people should stop saying the word Latinx. I'm not even saying that I myself am not Latinx, Mexican American, or Chicano. And I am not saying that we need less labels, that we should all stick together because we're all the same, because we are not. Just like the identity of American, Mexicano, of Azteca, of indigenous, the names of those identities were new at one point for a reason. Because what existed didn't reflect who we are, or because what we knew we were was erased by colonialism. Now, Miguel, who am I? You can say that I am Mexican. You can say that I am American. You can say that I'm Chicano. I can agree that I am those things, and then some. I am Ñañu. My personal identity, beyond Mexican, beyond simply indigenous, more specific than Chicano, more specific than Latinx, it will not be erased. And although I choose to identify as Ñañu, an identity that is older than Latinx, than Chicano, possibly even older than Mexicano, and older than the Aztec Empire itself, I can still respect those that find new ways to capture just who they are. And you should too. What about you? What do you identify as? If you want to support my move to Mexico and my journey to learning my language, please subscribe to my channel, share my video with anyone who you think would find it interesting, leave a comment, ask a question about my life as an indigenous Mexican in Southern California, or let me know in the comments your story of reconnecting with your roots. Check the links in the description bar. Nos vemos pronto. Ginsuhu. Cuídense and take care.